and find our sits bones. We'll let our shoulders come down and back. Our chin gently lifts so that we're not having our head forward and down. We bring everything into alignment. We'll find our core to protect our low back. And we'll just start by taking a few nice deep breaths in through the nose. And then out through the mouth. We'll do a couple more. Breathe in through the nose. And then the last one, we'll breathe in. And then we'll start to find our Ujjayi breath. So we breathe in through our nose. We breathe back out through our nose. But we allow our breath to come a little more fully into our system. So it comes into our chest, our ribs, and into our belly. And throughout our practice today, we'll let the most important thing we do be our breath. Two more rounds of breath, establishing that Ujjayi breath. We'll take a moment, we'll set an intention in our practice, perhaps to take off of our mat as well. And then we'll start to move. So we'll reach our arms up and overhead. And as we exhale, we'll bring our fingertips back to the earth. We'll do that a few times. We'll reach up. And we'll bring our fingertips down. A couple more. Last one, we'll reach up. We'll bring our fingertips down. Now we're going to change it. So we'll bring our arms up and overhead, but as we exhale, we'll twist to the right, bringing our elbows toward our ribs. We'll inhale, we'll reach high, and then we'll twist to the left, elbows toward the ribs, a few each way. Trying to keep our spine nice and long, so not starting to hunch. If that means you don't go as far, that's just fine. And then we'll come over to the right and we'll stay. Our arms come down, elbows toward the ribs. We'll stay right here. Twisting from that upper back. And then we'll come to the center. We'll take it to the left. Continuing with our Ujjayi breath, we'll reach up and then we'll come forward. Finding a gentle forward fold, so a nice stretch. Maybe of the thighs, the hips, maybe of the lower back. You come to any depth that your body allows this morning. And then we're going to come up and we're going to switch which foot is in the front, and we'll come back. Balancing out that stretch. And we'll come back up. We'll bring our arms out to a T. And as we exhale, we're going to round. We'll bring one arm on top of the other. We'll inhale. We'll let our chest come forward. And then we'll alternate which arm comes forward as we hug a beach ball. Chest forward, and then we round. So just opposite motions. One more each way. And then we'll bring those arms to a T. We'll bring the right over the left. We'll find our eagle arms. So we lift our elbows out and up. We'll stay right here and take a few breaths. Again, the most important thing we're doing during this half hour is breathing, just calming our whole system through the breath. The stretching is just an added bonus. We'll open those arms up and we'll switch sides. If we continue to focus on our breath, we continue to remain in the present moment, finding that nice sense of presence. The breath serves multiple purposes as we move through our practice. And then we'll release. We'll come over to our hands and knees, finding our tabletop position. And we come to a similar movement as before, but let's try and focus on the upper back as we move in cow-cat. So maybe it's a little smaller of a movement today as we try to focus on that upper back. Let's come back to neutral and lift our right arm up toward the sky. And as we exhale, we'll bring it under the left. We'll do 2 more like that. We'll reach high. And we'll sweep under. We'll reach up. We'll sweep under and we'll stay. That left hand can stay right where it is, or you can take it and bring it to the opposite hip, pulling that left shoulder open a bit. Nice deep breaths. We're a little constricted here, so we're intentional with our breath. And then we'll bring that left hand back down. And our right hand comes back up the counter. Right hand comes down and we'll switch. So left arm reaches. And we do 3 sweeps under that right arm. We inhale, we lift. We exhale, we sweep. And then last one. We'll sweep under and stay in whatever position feels comfortable and natural, but most important, we're just taking some nice deep ujjayi breath, calming our system, staying present in our mind. And then right hand comes back down. We inhale to bring that left arm up. And we're back into tabletop. And then we transition to our downward facing dog. Our hips lift, our heels go low, and we start to pedal those feet. One heel drop. While the opposite knee bends. We'll take a moment now and we'll just sway our hips from side to side. Loosening things up, pressing into our fingers so we don't put stress on our wrists. Maybe a gentle spiraling of those elbows toward each other to stabilize. And we'll bend our knees and we'll look forward. We'll bring our feet to our hands. And we'll come up halfway. And then we'll fold. We'll let ourselves hang a moment. Maybe nod the head or shake the head or sway from side to side. Anything that feels natural, that allows you to loosen up a bit. That feels good in your body as it is today. And then we'll gently start to come up. So we'll inhale as we reach our arms out and up and overhead. We'll bring our hands to our heart. let them drop down by our sides for a moment. We'll stand tall. So we have a little bend in our knees. Our pelvis is in neutral. We have a core engagement, our shoulders down and back. We'll drop our chin to our chest. Our right ear comes to our right shoulder. And as we exhale, our chin comes to our chest. We bring our left ear to our left shoulder as we inhale. And as we exhale, our chin comes to our chest. We'll do a few more each way, loosening up the neck. And then we'll stay on that right side. And we'll transition this a bit. So we'll start to take that right hand down the side of the right thigh and that left arm comes up and overhead. We're trying to keep our hips in neutral here so we're not swinging to either side. We're just reaching over. And then we'll slowly release. Our chin comes back to our chest. Then we bring our left ear to our left shoulder. We'll stay here a moment. And then that left hand starts to come down as that right arm starts to reach over, a side stretch. And then we release back to the center. We'll reach arms up and overhead. And as we exhale, we'll fold forward. We'll come up halfway. We're going to step back with our right foot. So we'll find a high lunge. We have a bend in both knees. We'll find stability. We'll reach our arms overhead. We'll take a couple breaths here. We're stretching the mat with our feet forward and back. Maybe you close your eyes and test your balance. But most importantly, you continue to breathe. We'll exhale, we'll bring our hands down and we'll step into our downward facing dog. We're gonna bring our right foot forward. So you can lift it toward the sky or simply walk it forward. I'm gonna lift my right leg and then sweep it forward. That brings us back to high lunge position. We press up, our arms come overhead. Once again, we take a few moments here. Feeling the stability, stretching the mat. We'll bring our hands to our heart. We'll step our left foot forward. Back into our Tadasana. Our arms come down by our sides. We take a moment, standing tall. And then we'll reach our arms up and overhead. And as we exhale, we'll fold forward. We're gonna come up halfway and we're gonna step back with our left foot. So our right foot is forward again, our arms reach overhead back into that high lunge. Now muscle memory starts to kick in. We take a few breaths. Ujjayi breath, staying present in our breath, present in our mind. And then those hands come down and we step into a downward facing dog. Hopefully down dog is starting to feel a little more comfortable. The back of the body is starting to feel a little looser. And we're gonna bring our left foot forward. So you can step it or you can lift your left leg with me and sweep it forward up into that high lunge. And we take a few breaths. And our hands come to our heart. And we step our right foot forward. We'll drop our hands. And we're just gonna sway a little bit from side to side. Kind of letting go. Hard to keep that Ujjayi breath flowing right now. So just let it go and sway a few more times each way. And then we'll slow that way down and come back to the center. We'll stand tall for a moment, letting everything kind of settle, getting our bearings back, finding our Ujjayi breath. And then we'll inhale and reach up. And we'll exhale to fold forward. We'll inhale to come up halfway. This time we'll step our right foot back, but we'll come into a low lunge so our hands come down to the earth. We're gonna drop our back knee gently. We're gonna stay right here, breathing. See if you can relax your legs and relax your hips and just enjoy that nice stretch. I'm gonna move a little bit. I'm gonna keep the sole of my foot on the floor as I come back, taking my hips back toward the back of the mat, and then I'm gonna come forward. I'm gonna send my hips back, sole of the foot on the floor, and then come forward. A few more. We're getting a nice stretch in the front of the lower leg and in the top of the foot. 3, 2, 1. Let's stay back for a moment. Might need to adjust where the hands are. We find our breath. And then we're going to come forward and we're going to come up a little bit, bringing our hands to prayer. And we'll take a little twist. So that right elbow is going to come across that left knee or onto that left knee or inside of that left knee, wherever it lands. We'll stay right here. See if you can twist from that upper back rather than from the belly. Looking to the side or behind you. And then we'll release. We'll bring our hands down. We'll find our downward facing dog. Taking some time here to kind of shake things out. Just sway those hips from side to side to pedal. See what feels natural to reestablish your breath. Perhaps to pull your mind back from wherever it may have gone. And then we're going to bring our right foot forward. So again, you can step your right foot forward or you can lift with me, extending that right leg out behind you and then exhaling to find that low lunge and to drop that back knee. And we settle in right here in this low lunge and we allow our hips and our legs to relax. We take those nice deep breaths. And then we'll start to move. We'll keep the sole of the foot on the floor as we send our hips back, perhaps dropping the chest a little bit, and then we'll come forward. We'll do a few more. Two. And then we'll come back and we'll stay, sole of the foot on the floor, allowing that stretch, relaxing into it, breathing. And then we'll come forward and we'll come up a little bit, hands to heart, and we find our twist. We'll release, we'll bring our hands down. We're gonna tuck our back toes. We take a couple steps to bring that left foot to meet the right. We find ourselves in our standing forward fold. We'll come up halfway and then we'll exhale and we will fold and sway and do whatever feels good and natural. Whatever feels neutralizing or allows you to kind of decompress. Maybe take a break from that Ujjayi breath. And then we gently start to come up to standing again. We'll take an inhale. We'll reach out and up and overhead. And as we exhale, our hands come back to our heart. We'll let our arms come down by our sides. And once again, we'll just kind of sway a little bit. Let everything go. Shake it off. And then we'll slow that sway. We'll come back to the center. We'll inhale and reach up. And as we exhale, we'll come forward. We'll inhale to come up halfway and we step back with our left foot into a low lunge. This time we'll keep our knee lifted. We'll bring our left hand down and our right arm up. But we're gonna move this right arm and we're gonna move our legs just a little bit. So we'll sink in, we'll drop our left knee toward the earth, not quite touching it, as our right arm sweeps down. And then we inhale, we'll straighten up in that leg and make a rainbow in the sky. We'll come on down. And we'll inhale and kind of paint the sky. A few more. 2. Last one. We'll bring that right hand down and we'll step into our downward facing dog. Again, you take a little time in your down dog to do what feels good and natural, whatever neutralizes you. I like a bend in my knees here. If I can press those heels, feeling that nice stretch. And then we're gonna take our sequence to the other side. So you can step that left foot forward or lift it toward the sky with me on that inhale, and then exhale, we sweep it through. Keeping that knee lifted, we bring our right hand down and our left arm up. And then we start that movement. We sink down a little bit, sweeping the arm down, and then we inhale, we paint the sky and straighten up a bit in that back leg. Two. And last one. We'll bring that left hand down. And this is when we take the big step forward. So we bring that right foot forward to meet the left. We come up halfway. And then we find our forward fold and we hang out. We sway a bit. Maybe nodding or shaking the head. And then we'll come up to standing. So take your time. Nice and slow, arms overhead. And then hands through heart center and down by the sides. We'll stand tall. We'll take a few breaths. We're going to keep our right foot where it is, and we're going to step back with the left foot into a pyramid. So it's not a very wide or long stance. So there's some space from right to left, but not so much space from left to right. We're going to bring our arms up and overhead. And as we exhale, we're going to come about halfway down and bring the left hand down and the right arm up. So another twist. But let's take that right hand and then bring it across to the left hip. This is revolved triangle. Take a couple breaths. And then we're gonna do something a little challenging. We're gonna start to shift that left hand forward and bend that front knee. And we're gonna start to turn this into a balance pose. So that left leg lifts. We're gonna release the right arm out to the side. And then we're gonna start to open toward the right. We're looking toward the right, our shoulders gently twisted up. And we breathe. This is revolved half moon. Breathing. And then we'll release. The hands come down, that left foot comes back into place. That is our pyramid stance. We're gonna bend those knees and press in. Inhaling, we're gonna rise up, taking our time. Our hands are gonna come to our heart and our feet are gonna come together. Our arms come down by our sides and we take a moment and let everything settle. Maybe your breath is sped up. Mine is definitely a little shallow. I have to be pretty intentional right now to get back into equilibrium. And then that left foot stays in place and the right foot comes back. We find our pyramid. We bring our arms up and overhead. And then we come down halfway with our arms to a T and the right hand comes down and that left arm comes up and then across to the right hip. Intentional breath. The most important thing we're doing. And then we'll start to shift that hand forward and shift our weight onto that left leg. Left arm comes onto the side, and then we maybe a gentle twist. Revolved half moon, really difficult because it's a twist and a balance posture at the same time. So we breathe. And if we fall out of it, we try again. And then we'll release those hands down and that right foot comes back into place into our pyramid. And then we bend our knees and we gently come back up to standing. We've been upside down a while, so we take our time. And our hands and feet come together and then our arms drop down by our sides. We take a couple breaths. And then we're going to come onto our backs. We're going to pull our knees in and massage our low back. So maybe rolling in a circle, maybe side to side or forward and back, just whatever you need. And then we'll find our twist, so our arms will come to a T and we'll take our knees to the left as the right arm reaches, and you can stagger those legs. One can be straight and one can be bent, or you can wrap that top leg over the bottom, or you can stack them. We'll take a few breaths here. Let's switch sides. We'll come back to the center. We'll take our arms and legs long and we'll take a big old breath. We'll inhale. And we'll exhale. 2 more. We inhale, we reach and stretch everything. And as we exhale, last one, inhale, reach and stretch everything. And then exhale, arms come down by our sides and we come to any position that will allow us to rest for a moment. We take our Shavasana. So we let go of our Ujjayi breath and we just let ourselves be supported and relax. If we find ourselves moving into a place where we're thinking about what's going to happen next or what happened before, we just come back to the sound of our breath, the feel of our body as it's supported. We let ourselves present and peaceful. And then we'll start to reawaken. We'll stretch or massage our low back or do whatever. And we'll move back into our seated position. And we'll reach our arms up. And we'll bring our hands to our heart. We'll let our shoulders come down and back. We'll come back to our intention. Thank you for joining me today. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you be at ease. I bow to you. Namaste.